This is the Angry Prepper. So today's video is sort of a part two, but not really. But there's a situation happening at the border that could be way worse than originally expected. So the border problem is building up right now, and it's becoming a huge issue. I think tomorrow we're going to see all hell break loose. At least I think so. Originally, in my last video, I stated that they were estimating 40,000 immigrants to rush the border, if you will, or come across the border. So the number is no longer 40,000. Remember, I said they were being generous about it. I said it was going to be higher. But I did not know it was going to be way higher than 40,000. I thought roughly maybe 60, 70. They're talking about 700,000 to 1,000,000 illegal immigrants, but they're not illegal yet, immigrants crossing the border. So that's a big issue because 40,000 with the National Guards and Border Patrol and the possible use of the military. Now, a lot of people like the military is not going to be used at that capacity. If they're arming them, they're going to probably use them at that capacity. But the Army's capacity, as of right now, as it stands, it's only logistical and clerical work and transportation, meaning driving the buses, I guess, to and from the depots where they let them go and then set them back out to Mexico or wherever it is. So again, that's the military's capacity, but I think they're going to use them at full capacity now, knowing that 700,000 at a minimum could be coming across the border. The max, or the heavier side, is 1,000,000. Now you have to actually put more military servicemen in and more National Guards. Hell, Texas might even have to borrow National Guards from neighboring states. And that's if the other states will allow it, and I'm pretty sure they will if the Texas governor asks. That being said, guys, the cartel are gathering up illegal immigrants at the border to wait. The cartellers. Now, once I saw that word cartel in there, that name or organization or whatever you want to call them, once I saw that in there, I was like, light bulb went off. They're gathering immigrants to come across the border by the boatloads, if you will, because they're going to make the biggest push in mule trafficking history. Having people, or a ton of those people, carry drugs across the border. I think that's what that is. Once the cartel gets involved, guys, it's almost always drug related. It's always drug related. So that, guys, is an issue. Because what are they going to bring across? Now, fentanyl has seemingly been the number one drug at this point coming across the border. So they're going to flood the country with more drugs. Now, I like to say fentanyl for sure, but I can't because I'm not in that world. But definitely more drugs are going to be coming across that border because they're going to have more mules carrying drugs coming across that border. You're also going to have Chinese men or military age men coming across. Now, the Chinese thing I'm on the fence about because, like I said before, not sure if they are coming across the border to escape the imperialistic country of China, or they are actually coming here to start a business and become a detriment to the American society by buying up land, buying up businesses, and things of that nature from that angle. So I don't know what to gauge with that. Everybody keeps saying military men age, but again, it's China. So many people defect and leave China. It's insane. Right? So again, that's hard to gauge. But the bigger concern right now, or at least for tomorrow, the bigger concern is the fact that 700,000, again, on the low side, 700,000 people are going to be coming across that border and the cartels involved. That's the bigger issue, and that's what people should be talking about, and that's what we should be hearing coming out of the White House mouth or Border Patrol or the National Guardsmen. We should be hearing about the possibility of more drugs coming across that border. Now, If mules are coming across that border, guys, they figure, and this is cartel thinking, they figure let's flood the border or the border entry with mules, tens of thousands, I'm probably thinking, if not hundreds of thousands of mules carrying shit across the border. Let's just flood it because the United States can't stop it all. That's the thinking behind it, and that's why they're doing this. Again, that's the only reason why the cartel will be involved. The cartel's not involved to get immigrants across the border so they have a better life. They're not like, oh, amigo, free burritos in America. They're not doing that for the fucking sake of their people. They never do. It's the cartel. They're fucking selfish scumbags. That being said, they are absolutely involved in flooding the border, or the country rather, this country, with drugs. That's the only thing, and the only thing I can think of right now is because, again, they're attached to this. They are not rallying, but they're gathering people up, or corralling people up, if you will, because it's the cartel. They're corralling people at the borders so that come May 11th at midnight, which is tonight, the border's going to look like a shit show. Now, there should be so many reporters there, right? I wish I would have thought ahead of time. I would have traveled down there myself. Would have traveled down there myself and filmed this fiasco that's going to happen. Anyway, with that, guys, don't stay glued to the TV set, but definitely pay attention to what's going on at the border. This is undoubtedly going to be a shit show should, again, on the low end, 700,000 people come across that border. On the high end, it's 1 million. Listen, 40,000 I thought was a lot considering the manpower that's there. 700,000 to 1 million? Unstoppable. Like I said in my original video, it's a tidal wave of immigrants who, once they cross that border, will be illegal immigrants hitting this country. Like someone asked, where the hell are they going to put all of these immigrants? Where? Where are they all going to go? New York City right now is having a huge problem with it. In fact, it's such a big problem, they're talking about turning Central Park, or parts of Central Park, into tent cities for illegal immigrants. I'm going to do a separate video on that because New York City is having its own immigrant crisis that has gotten worse from the last time I did a video on the subject. Anyway, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel.